I grew up in Miami, back when it was Miami. I grew up in South Miami. Very rural then. Picked our vegetables when we were kids. I loved it.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to St. Brendan's. I'm a parochial school girl.
So growing up, at what point did you kind of realize that you were a lesbian?
Oh, I came out of the womb knowing I was gay. I mean, I never had a doubt. I didn't have questioning. I was blessed with that, not having questioning, I guess. And also I had supportive parents. Both my parents were social workers. They worked for the Catholic Archdiocese. So they're pretty open and they were just pretty happy I wasn't a drug addict or a murderer. That's kind of where they set their bar.
But you were involved in athletics?
I was. So was my mom. She was a tomboy.
That was the word I was going to ask you, is that was that how you were referred to as a tomboy?
Oh, always. Always, always. We were in the streets playing softball. Volleyball was my sport. I loved it. But then everybody outgrew me. And you got to be 6 foot to be a hitter, spiker. And then I was too big to be agile to be a setter. So I played softball.
Okay. And did you play at school?
I did. I put myself through college playing softball.
Really? And where'd you go to college?
MDCC. And then on to FIU when it was 2-year. When it was third and fourth. We're old enough to know this.
So tell me, what did you major in school?
Secondary ed with special ed. I taught for 1 year and I quickly realized teachers don't get paid enough and it is a horrendous job. And I can't even imagine it doing now in the environment. But I was always working in restaurants, put myself through school, which I have the scholarship as well, but put myself through school, pay my bills. I was always in a restaurant. And once I graduated, the restaurant I was working at said, do you want to go into management? I looked at the salaries. I'm like, well, that's a clear choice. I'm going restaurant.
What year was that when you graduated?
Ask a lady that. What year did I graduate college?
How old are you? Just cut to the chase.
I'm 60.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 81.
People ask, why is that important? It's perspective. Because somebody, our age looks at things perhaps differently. We have life experience that's different. So tell me about Miami, what Miami was like back then in the early to mid 80s.
Oh, it was very different than it is now. I want to say it was rural, but when I was a kid, we couldn't ride past 102nd Avenue because it was a dirt road. So there wasn't really homestead, and I mean, it was out there, but it was just horse country. On Kendall Drive, where there's all these big malls, that's where I had my horse when I was a kid, and I worked at a horse farm. I mean, that was my first job.
And so, since you didn't have an experience of coming out, but what was life like for a young lesbian?
Especially in private school, just kind of, I would say, just kind of kept quiet. I think it was just a known thing, but not a spoke about thing. I was dating a girl in high school, and my mom just thought we were such good friends. So, you know what I mean? I just kind of, I think, I don't know, it's just not really, I mean, I got harassed a bit, definitely, but I don't know if I just didn't pay attention to it. And we also had the riots, so there's a lot going on. We had influx of the Cuban immigration. So it's all those things are kind of memory for me, but I was kind of on the outskirts of them. We used to just come up here and go to a nightclub, back streets, and then head home. I literally ended up in Wilton Manors because I saw a small little article that said this new little area. I go, I'm done with South Beach, trying to fight for parking, even back then.
Was there any athletics then in South Beach or in Miami?
In Miami-Dade, I was playing in a league, but I forget, it was just like a pickup league. I think when I finally moved here and I got in touch with the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, I think like, oh, okay, here we go. This is why, I helped out with Pride so much.
And what was Wilton Manors like when you moved?
God, I don't want to say like podunk, but fairly podunk. I was like, wait a minute, this is the new gay mecca? We saw it at Piggly Wiggly. I was like, what? I thought I got punked in the newspaper, I really did. I thought you lied to me, you journalists. So I still work for Red Lobster. I still have my corporate job. I was a manager for them. I was corporate to all. I was a general manager, and then I was actually director of operations. And really at 35, I was like, what am I doing? I see all these people having fun, playing softball. I miss playing softball. Every now and then I do a pickup league on Tuesday. I'm like, I missed it. And then when I got really involved with GLCC, when I retired out of Red Lobster, I found the softball community. I go, I'm in. The community was tight. It was a small amount of people making some big waves and making some big changes. You know, each generation has their own battles of changes to go up against. And I think that was the 90s, right? We're South Florida. We're still dealing with people that don't want us into Wilton Manors and people that are welcoming us into Wilton Manors. So there was a lot of leaders back then. Jim Stork, Dean Trentalis, Robert Bodiford. She was amazing. 95, they helped get the domestic partnership. So there's a lot of people doing a lot of good. Dale Madison, rest his soul, was doing a lot in his way. There was people, Marie Kondracki, Karen Kelly, Rocky, Jim Stork. These guys were all kind of doing their things. Tony Beal came in later. He's younger than us. So there was that fight, but I think softball community was everybody could be on the same, without sounding corny, on the same playing field.
And how is Wilton Manors different from other similar cities that have large LGBT populations?
I think because we're still fairly sparse in space. So when I go to New York and they're like, Hell's Kitchen, it's super gay. I'm like, well, it's super everything. There's 1 million people here. So when you come to Wilton Manors, you're like, you're super gay. You're like, oh, well, it is super gay. Because there's 100,000 as opposed to 1 million. So 50% of that seems large. What a dumb word I'm going to say, liberated. I really like, okay, I'm not working corporate America in 100 hours a week. I'm not putting kids through school. What am I doing? So I just like softball. I get to play softball, I get to have fun. And then that's when I was like, there wasn't really a lesbian bar then. So we opened up a little lesbian bar, Kicks. We'll give it a whirl. And to be honest, there's a backstory there. My brother died. And I was like, my brother died at 38 years old of AIDS and left me a little bit of money. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I gotta kind of live a dream. I have to do something better than just work 80 hours a week, which, oh, by the way, I'm working 80 hours a week now. I don't know what I'm thinking. But that time, I was like, I just really was like all into it. I loved it. And I still do. I love our community. I thought, wow, this is great. There's people here like me. We're all on the same page. We go to work. We have good days, bad days. But on that softball field, we're all on the common ground.
So your brother was also gay?
He was.
So how many of you were your siblings?
There's 5 of us and only him and I. Yeah. He was the only boy, so it's okay that I was gay. I'm the youngest girl.
The effects of HIV/AIDS on this community into the 90s.
Oh, it was huge. I mean, lesbians were out creating change for HIV. I mean, we had Ronald Reagan in the White House saying it wasn't happening, and then it was labeled a gay cancer. You know what I mean? But I think ultimately it brought the community together more than anything, because you shouldn't die from how you love. And that's just it. It's that simple. It was a sad time. Everybody was scared. I think, and when you're scared or nervous, that brings people together. Everybody was scared. Everybody was definitely nervous. It was a ripple for sure.
How did the league help people during that period?
We did fundraisers. You also have a sense of family. The league was more family. And I'm sure Jim Stork must have said that word, because, I mean, that guy is the league, right? So it was very family. So people took care of each other. Somebody's fall, someone's got to pick you up. I think we opened Kicks in 98. We closed Kicks in 05. So in that time, I think we really had a sense of community because there was no other lesbian bar. So whether we ran it right or didn't run it right, we were successful. And we grew the softball league there. And I remember we used to have small pride parades. I remember one year we rented a VW bus and we were kicking little balls out the side of the thing. It was, I want to say podunky, but it was just cool. It was intimate. It was, it was how we kind of grew our base of softball, was at Kicks. And then at New Moon, which I own with my wife, then we really grew the league. I think we had a bigger space, we had more input, we had more of a stamp, I guess, on the community, more of a bigger stamp. So at New Moon, I sponsored 11 teams. There was like 13 in the league. So every Sunday was just this after party of softball, just girls hanging out, having a good time and being themselves. Little rivalry, but nothing crazy. And I think that grew New Moon. And then I think New Moon grew because we again, were the only lesbian bar at that time, and we're bigger. We grew because there was MTV, and one of our bartenders was on MTV, Room Raiders. And then, Pandora Events was getting started. Olivia Cruises was becoming, I don't know when Olivia Cruise were launched, but that's when I know they became kind of big, was in the 80s. People wanted that time in that 90s and the 2000s. I own a little restaurant bar at Wilton Manors. Do I own a lesbian bar? No. Does somebody need to? Yes. I will help them, but I know I don't want to do it. I'm too old.
So what's the name of your restaurant bar?
Apartment 9F.
And what is the clientele?
We're very mixed. We're predominantly gay boys and girls. We get straight couples on a date, which is so cute.
And what do you feel is still needed to be done?
I think politically, we have to know we're being wiped out of the history books. Stonewall and those things are being defunded. That's not what we fought for. We didn't come out of AIDS, we didn't come out of gay rights just to go right back into fighting again. And I think early in the interview, I said, each generation has their wall to fight. This generation's got to get their stuff together, man. We have to have these young kids and this young generation get out there and say we're visible and we're not going away. I think 5 years from now, I'm still going to be a part of my community. I'm still hopefully going to be a valid part of my community. And I think this is why we're doing this, right? People forget what George Kessinger did. Oh, geez, I didn't even mention him. George Kessinger is huge in the softball. People forget, like, he really kind of launched Wilton Manors. He opened a gay bar here, like I said before when I read in the article. So people like that, I think we forget our short-term history, that people who built Wilton Manors, people who built some of these things that you take for granted. It's hard, but I think each place is hard. How many times we drive over a bridge and it's Susan Anthony or Susan BQ Bridge? Who is she? We don't know. But that's what I think. Older people, I think, here are still valid and treated well. I just think that we need to know that these older people built some of these histories, and we're the shoulders you're walking on.
And what are your priorities right now in terms of what you do for the community? How do you prioritize that?
I think now, it's funny you say that. Nancy and I just had a long conversation. We've always done dine out for Broward House, and we didn't do it this year. We still donated money, but we feel like our money and our resources need to go to political action, and they need to go to kids. And that's kind of where we have landed and driven our support lately, is Trevor Project, some of the Human Rights Campaign, and some of those things. GLAD. We need to have legislation. We need to have people out there fighting for these kids that just use the bathroom, my God. Just use whatever bathroom you want to go in. Come on.
You still play?
No. I know, I'm back at it. That, in 5 years from now, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be playing softball. And we have this guy, Mark, that works for me, and he's such a softball guy. And I'm like, he goes, come and pitch for us. I'm like, I work every Sunday. How to get myself back into that? But I love the softball league, so I would like to play again, yeah. First off, I miss just playing softball, the sport itself. It's such a great sport. The second thing is, I think I miss camaraderie. Just going out and having fun and being yourself, and it's mindless for an hour. I don't have to think about work or people or bills or, just play softball and have fun with people next to you. That's not so hard.